Princess Leonor Felipe must veto him. In Spain's constitutional system, one of the most frequently misunderstood royal powers is the so-called veto. The Spanish monarch signs laws, sanctions legislation, and formally appoints officials, but does not exercise personal discretion over political outcomes. This distinction matters because, in recent years, public discussion has occasionally framed royal involvement in terms that do not align with constitutional reality. Understanding why those misunderstandings arise, and why they are incorrect, offers a rare window into how modern monarchy actually functions. This video examines the institutional role of King Felipe VI, the constitutional limits placed on his authority, and what those limits reveal about the preparation of Princess Leonor as Spain's future head of state. By the end, the mechanics of monarchy will appear far more precise, and far more restrained, than many assume. Spain is a parliamentary constitutional monarchy. That phrase carries weight. The monarch is head of state, but sovereignty resides with the Spanish people, exercised through elected institutions. Under the Spanish Constitution of 1978, the king's functions are defined clearly and narrowly. He sanctions and promulgates laws passed by the Cortes Generales. He formally appoints the president of the government following parliamentary confidence. He represents the state internationally. What he does not do is govern, legislate independently, or block laws at will. The Constitution does not provide the king with a discretionary veto power comparable to executive vetoes found in presidential systems. This is not an oversight. It is deliberate constitutional design. The confusion often begins with language. The word, sanction, is sometimes misread as approval based on judgment. In constitutional terms, however, sanction is a formal act, not a political one. Once legislation has passed through the democratic process, the monarch's role is procedural. Refusal to sanction would itself be unconstitutional. Spanish constitutional scholars have long emphasized this point. The king reigns, but does not rule. His authority is symbolic, stabilizing, and bound tightly to legality. Understanding this framework is essential when interpreting public claims that suggest the monarch must veto a person, decision, or outcome. So why do such claims appear at all? Often, they arise during moments of institutional tension, government formation, judicial appointments, or constitutional debate. In these moments, the monarchy becomes visible. The king signs decrees. He conducts consultations. He performs formal duties that mark transitions. For observers unfamiliar with constitutional mechanics, visibility can be mistaken for control. The reality is the opposite. Visibility exists precisely because discretion is absent. Everything is done openly, formally, and according to law. This dynamic has shaped King Felipe VI's reign from the beginning. Felipe VI ascended the throne in 2014 during a period of institutional scrutiny. From the outset, his role was framed around restoration of trust, constitutional fidelity, and institutional neutrality. Public record shows consistent adherence to these principles. Whether in government formation processes or state ceremonies, the king has acted strictly within constitutional bounds. There is no documented instance of a personal veto because such a power does not exist within Spain's legal framework. That absence is not a weakness, it is a cornerstone of democratic monarchy. Princess Leonor's preparation is occurring entirely within this context. As heir presumptive, she is being trained not to exercise power, but to embody constitutional continuity. Her education emphasizes law, history, military service, and institutional literacy. These are not symbolic choices. They reflect the reality that her future role will be governed by restraint rather than intervention. Understanding what her father cannot do constitutionally is just as important as understanding what he can. This is how modern monarchy prepares for relevance without authority. Comparative perspective helps clarify this further. In the United Kingdom, the monarch's royal assent to legislation is similarly automatic by convention. In the Netherlands and Sweden, constitutional monarchs perform formal acts without political discretion. Across Europe, monarchies that endure do so by eliminating ambiguity. They operate within clearly defined limits that prevent personalization of power. Spain's system is among the most explicit in this regard, shaped by historical experience and democratic transition. This clarity directly informs how Princess Leonor's future role is constructed. Public discourse sometimes treats monarchy as a residual power center, a final check, a hidden lever. Constitutionally, this is incorrect. The monarchy's real function is continuity. It ensures that state authority persists across political change without becoming political itself. When people suggest that the king must veto someone, they are often expressing frustration with democratic processes, not identifying an actual constitutional option. Recognizing this distinction protects institutional trust. From an educational standpoint, this misunderstanding offers an opportunity. It allows us to explain why constitutional monarchy survives in modern Europe, not by competing with elected power, but by removing itself from competition entirely. Princess Leonor's eventual reign will depend on this principle. Her legitimacy will not come from decisions made, but from rules respected. In that sense, learning what she cannot do is central to understanding what she represents. There is also a leadership lesson here. Authority constrained by law often proves more durable than authority exercised freely. King Felipe VI's role demonstrates that leadership can exist without command. Presence, consistency, and legality create stability over time. These are precisely the qualities Princess Leonor is being prepared to inherit. And this preparation is occurring in public view. As Spain continues to navigate political change, the monarchy's constitutional boundaries remain unchanged. That stability is intentional. Claims of royal veto power will likely continue to surface during moments of uncertainty. Each time, the constitutional framework provides the same answer. The monarch does not intervene, the system proceeds. This predictability is not passive. It is active restraint. The key takeaway is straightforward. Spain's monarchy functions not as an arbiter of political outcomes, but as a guardian of constitutional process. Princess Leonor's future role is shaped by this reality. Her authority will be defined by continuity, not discretion, by preparation, not intervention. In understanding what King Felipe VI cannot veto, we gain a clearer picture of how modern monarchy maintains relevance through limitation. Only 1 in 10 viewers here is subscribed. If you value thoughtful insights into royalty and leadership, join the community.